All right, good evening and welcome to the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for the city of Sunbury. It's June 26, 2023. It's 6:30 p.m. Would you please join me in a moment of silent prayer, the Pledge of Allegiance. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mayor St. John.
Here.
Joe Goldmauer.
Here.
Sydney Cooper.
Here.
Don Lawrence.
Here.
Rick Ryder.
Here.
Here.
All right, we have two items to review this evening. It's commission review of Price Ponds, a minor lot split. And I don't know that we're going to ask the applicant to present this evening. I think we're just going to go into the details. Do you have everything you need?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. White, this lot split is pretty straightforward. Any questions from the commission for the applicant or engineer or attorney? All right, I'll make a motion to approve. Second by Mr. Ryba. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor St. John.
Yes.
Joe Goldmauer.
Yes.
Ms. Cooper.
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence.
Yes.
Mr. Ryder.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Yes.
Right. 6-0. We've got a commission review of Eagle Creek, also a minor lot split. Same question, Mr. Engineer.
Same answer.
All right. Good deal. All right, any questions on this particular lot split? Pretty straightforward. All right, I'll make a motion on this. Second by Mr. Ryba. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor St. John.
Yes.
Mr. Goldmauer.
Yes.
Ms. Cooper.
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence.
Yes.
Mr. Ryder.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Yes.
Approved. Votes yes.
We're on the visitor section. Alex, just keep the camera facing this way. Would any of the 40 or 50 people here tonight like to speak with the commission? We're doing a good job. We agree. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Callahan. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good evening.
Thanks.
All right. We have the lengthiest part of the meeting coming up, and that is minutes approval for 2023. There was a meeting in January. Would any of the attendees
Like to approve the January minutes?
Okay, we've got a motion by Ms. Miller.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Ryba. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor St. John.
Abstain.
Oh. All right. Mr. Ryder.
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper.
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence.
Yes.
Mrs. Miller.
Yes. Same.
Thank you.
4-2.
I move to approve the February minutes.
All right, we've got a motion by Mrs. Miller.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Ryba. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor St. John.
Abstain. Yeah, I do agree. I agree with that one.
Need you on this. Mr. Goldmauer.
Yes.
Ms. Cooper.
Yes.
Mr. Ryder.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Yes.
All right, there was a meeting in March.
I move to approve the minutes in March.
Motion by Mrs. Miller. Second by Mr. Lawrence. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor St. John.
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence.
Yes.
Ms. Cooper.
Yes.
Mr. Goldmauer.
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Yes. I move to approve the minutes of May.
Staying.
Oh, sorry.
So I guess to clarify, I just still roll call everything. Yes. You were saying, okay.
Yes, sir.
Move to approve the minutes of May.
Got a motion by Mrs. Miller, second by Mr. Ryba. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor St. John.
Yes.
Mr. Goldmauer.
Yes.
Ms. Cooper.
Abstain.
Mr. Lawrence.
Yes.
Mr. Ryder. Yes. Ms. Miller.
Yes.
All right, we're on to the zoning report. Alex, is your hand tired?
So, general update, we had the first BZA meeting since last November. This month, there was a fence variance, it was. We updated, I talked about it briefly last month, but we updated the zoning certificate process. Just kind of little information on that. We just updated it so we receive all the fees and necessary documents before they get the zoning certificate at this point, so there's no confusion on us having anything before they go to Delaware County.
Hey, Alex, will you talk into your microphone?
And then, let's see, Miller's Cove, which is, what is that ahead of there? Is just north of the Wendy's, next to the McDonald's over there. They had a lot of, I think had 7 or 8 conditional occupancy permits issued before due to grading. Me and Steve were talking about that before he left. I did their final approval on those, about second week into June. So they are good to go now to just, I wanted to put that in there because there was no change in occupancy permits for them, but they did get 7 new ones as far as that goes. Phone inquiries, I've been getting a lot of increased calls about projects outside of our city limits, which I'm assuming just because everyone's developing now. But there's a lot more apartments and stuff going on around us than I thought there was, but I think it's a good note. We do have a few calls regarding Sunbury Parkway already. I'm assuming it's due to the alignment from ODOT. Just a lot of clarification between that. Like some people are asking what we're doing with it and what ODOT's doing with it. So just going over what exactly both sides on that are doing and who to call about respective information. And then more of that will come out here in the next few weeks, but nothing more from there. We had a few neighbor disputes this past month as well. Nothing too intense as of yet, but if it gets a little more heated, I'll let you guys know. Driving around, just seeing conditions and more grass. I had to stop and talk to a few people about grass, but didn't give them any warnings or notices. Just if I saw them out there, I was like, hey, 6 inches is the limit, let them know, knock it down. On our website, we have the report a concern feature. So I just kind of updated that. So all of it was going to the correct lines because there was a lot of people who are no longer here and there, a lot of people who have come in since then. So a lot of updated information there. And then just we had 2 preliminary meetings with potential developers as well this past month. And then as far as violations go, one new business had a violation warning and one had a notice. So I don't know if I explained that the first time I brought that up, but a warning is just me saying, hey, this is wrong. You have X amount of time to fix this before you get a notice, which is when like fines and that would be brought into play. So I gave out a warning to somebody. They didn't do anything about it. And then I reached out to them, to this business who received a notice. And then as soon as they got the notice, they called me and said, hey, we'll fix that today. So that's typically how I would like to see it go. And that's exactly what happened. And then we gave out a new resident a grass and weed notice, which they cleaned up in a day or 2 after that. So those usually aren't too intense.
Any questions or comments on the general update of the violation and enforcement for Alex? Okay, all right, continue.
All right, we had 21 new zoning certificates. Only 11 of them were for new builds though. So a lot more development, patios, decks, pools all going in, some additions as well this past month. Occupancy permits, we have 15. That is not counting the 7 that turned into full occupancy permits for Miller's Cove. So if you count those, it'd be 22, but I feel like we already counted those at some point in the past. So it's just 15. And then a lot of fence permits as well. While the weather's nice, a lot of people are going and getting those done. So Rolling Hills, just to update, had 4 new zoning certificates, 7 occupancy. Price had 6 new zoning certificates, 6 new occupancy. And then Miller's Cove had 1 new zoning certificate and 1 new occupancy as well. So the 11 building or zoning certificates for new builds, that is down actually from last year. So we're down 1, still up on the year, a significant amount. So that is still good, but just kind of we're hitting the middle months and we're kind of just staggering with what we were last year. So don't know exactly why that is, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. And then as far as on the year goes, we are doing, we're on above the pace that we've set the last few years. So we're still looking good in terms of that. We are up, we got a 26 higher than last year to date. And then we are more than halfway there as far as total for the year goes, looking at last year as well. And then on the last page, you can kind of see the overview of where we were and see the last 2 months. We haven't been where we were last year, but we're significantly over where we've been the past few years. So, and I was going to ask you guys the layout on the very last page. The past few months I've been doing it in different colors. This month I did it just a gradient from white to black. I think this looks better, but do you guys have any qualms with it? We'll change it back.
Any qualms?
Okay.
Okay. Right. And any questions about any of that information?
Great update, Alex. I do like the report of concern on the website. I personally used that before to report streetlights and other things. It's just pretty convenient. and it routes to the correct person and it's knocked out pretty quickly. So you fix the directory or who's available for who the concerns go to, is that right?
That's what I did, yeah.
Got it.
So we had Steve was still the main person getting the zoning related one, so I switched that over to me with Daryl as a CC. We have a new streets guy, so I switched all those over to him with me as a CC in case it's something related to me, just that kind of thing, like switch who the correct person is, because some of them were going to nobody or somebody that isn't here anymore. So
Right.
just to make sure that those are getting viewed if they need to be, was the main concern there.
Great. Good deal. All right. Any questions for Alex? All right, discussion, new business. Nothing. Yeah, Mr. Lawrence, no new business, anything from staff for us? All right, next meeting is July 24th, 2023. Anybody know for a fact they cannot be here?
Let's go.
Mrs. Cooper? Am I tracking that right? Is that 2 out of 3? We got her as absent.
In 4 years, not bad.
Just kidding. All right, anyone else? All right, so there's still a chance for a quorum. It's 5 attendees. All right,
Move to close.
we gotta move to close.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gokenhour. First was by Mr. Ryder. Discussion. Roll call. Yes.
Mr. Gokenhour,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper,
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence,
Yes.
Mr. Riddle,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller.
Yes.
We're adjourned.